Right, YouTube, I know I look like shit today. I'm so tired. The last time I had a proper kip was before COVID, but today I'm going to tell you the story of Daniel Hussein, a 19-year-old Iraqi descendant who grew up in London. He murdered two people back in June 2020. But the reason why this crime is peculiar is have a look at this letter. I'm going to break this letter down for you. These are demands by a demon telling him, if you do X, Y, and Z, I will give you X, Y, and Z. Right? Now, whether you believe in demons or not, it doesn't matter. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to tell you how you got in contact with the demons. I'm also going to tell you why you got in contact with the demons. I know other people, you may have heard the story before, and other people have told you the story, but here on my channel, we tell you the how, the what, and the why, as opposed to just the how. This video will touch on themes of religion, particularly with the Islamic faith. This was not a crime in the name of Islam or any other religion, but as a Muslim myself, and because I do understand the spiritual realm in maybe a bit more detail than others when it comes to magic and demons and all this kind of stuff, I'm just going to tell you what his thinking was, why he did what he did. So please don't be offended on anything I say. I am quite religious myself. I do pray to God every day. I'm also a dirty bastard, so please take the rough with the smooth. So Daniel was driven by his own teenage desires. He killed two complete strangers on behalf of mythical demons who lived in his bloodthirsty imagination. Bibba Henry was 46 years old and Nicole Smallman was 27. In Daniel's mind, he thought to himself, if I take their life, then this demon, he will get me a winning lottery ticket, and he'll also make the girl I love in school fall in love with me. But he failed on all accounts. He obviously didn't win the lottery, and women just found him creepy. Daniel had siblings. As I mentioned, he's originally from Iraq, or his family's from Iraq, and day to day he spent his time between his mother's home and his father's home on the other side of London. He stabbed the two girls to death on June the 6th, 2020 in Friant Park. He was known to be socially awkward with girls, and in his school he ran into many problems. So in England they have what's known as an anti-terror scheme, right? If you're teachers in school or a headmaster and you consider a child who, or a kid, sorry, who potentially is about to be radicalized, is becoming radicalized, then it's your job to report them to the government. And he was reported in 2017. He was then given support, and the government provides these teenagers or whoever it may be a de-radicalization program. So from 2017 to May 2018, he was going through this program of de-radicalization, and once he finished the program, the government decided that there was no further issues or concerns with him. And when Hussein finished school, he had no further plans to continue with education. In fact, he had planned to go to America. But by the time COVID-19 came, he had fallen under the spell of a demonic cult. This was evidenced by material found in his room, such as the letter I showed you in the beginning. The police said that his new ideology made him very arrogant and selfish, particularly towards women. So this is now where I come in with the demonic process. So again, if you don't believe in this, that's completely fine. But Daniel thought to himself, or rather subconsciously, he doesn't have the confidence to find the girl that he wants, and he doesn't have the drive or the know-how or the intelligence to get a great job, work hard, make a lot of money, because what he's looking for is earthly gains, right? He wants to get rich, be rich, have a lot of women. You know, desires, if you like, materialism, economic prosperity, sexual freedom, whatever you want to call it. So, in order to obtain this, he turned to demons. So looking at the letter itself, I mean, the desires are not uncommon. He wants to be with a girl that he really likes. He wants to have a lot of money, and he doesn't want to get caught. All of that makes sense, but how did he do it? So it is said that when it comes to the demon, you can't see the demon, but the demon can see you. So the illusion is that when you come in contact with the demon will do whatever you want. Demons can travel at the speed of light. Demons can change shape. They can shapeshift. Again, I know it sounds crazy and stupid and hocus pocus. I'm just telling you how it is from the religious point of view. You don't have to believe it. Just know this is what he was thinking. But the question is, what does the demon want from you? If the demon's going to go out and do all this dog work, right? For you, if the demon can travel at the speed of light, if the demon can, see at the back of his head and be at two different places at once and teleport and do all that for you, then what does the demon want? It wants one thing: obedience. Because that's the purpose of religion, right? Islam, Christianity, your sole purpose is to live in servitude of the divine. Your sole purpose is to be obedient to your master. The demons, however, who generally have a connotation of evil, devil, anti god personalities, well, given their high level of arrogance as they rejected God, there's no better way for them to get back at God than to have one of God's servants be obedient to them and not to God. Make sense? So, how does Daniel or anyone be obedient to the demon? Well, they would have to sacrifice human beings, as you can see in this case. They would have to go and dig up graves, sacrifice animals, maybe drink blood, all the usual satanic like processes you have heard in wacky ghost stories and all that kind of stuff. Now, to give you further context, and this is the interesting thing when it comes to the Islamic religion, is that if you worship demons, if you follow the demons, whatever it may be, you are openly rejecting God and you are openly accepting Satan as your master, as your Lord. You're being obedient to Satan. And on the day of judgment, when you die and you are seeking intercession, forgiveness from God, you will turn to Satan. And Satan will say, well, I never asked you to worship me. So you understand the devious nature of all of this. Daniel and people of his ilk are under the illusion that these demons, these spirit entities can get them whatever they want, when in reality, the whole point is just to humiliate Daniel. So they found notes that Daniel had written, and these notes were filled with gaining money, power, and sex. And the more I looked into the story, the more I realized he turned to the devil because this guy could just not get laid. Bruv, booty calls are easy. All you gotta do is swipe right, brother. Now, what's interesting is in his notes, the police found he struck a deal with a specific demon, and this demon was called Lucifuge Rafakal. And it is said that this specific demon is in charge of hell's government and the treasury set up by Lucifer. And in the same notes that the police found, his job from this Rafakal was simply to sacrifice women, and in return, he will get the lottery numbers for him to win millions. And I guess you could say that what makes Daniel even more stupid is that he believed that these demons could go forward in time, because you would have to go forward in time to know what these lottery numbers are. Eventually, Daniel was sentenced to 35 years in prison for the two murders. Now, what's interesting about this case is Daniel did confirm he suffered from Asperger's syndrome, and others said that he was quite the loner. He was a weird kid, didn't really have anything in common, didn't really have many interests. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought of myself the same way when I was younger. When I was in my teenage years, I didn't have any syndromes from what I know of. I mean, if I did have a syndrome, it would be searching for titties on the internet when the internet first came. But I did go to an all-boys school, so I had a lot of catching up to do. But I think to conclude on this guy, it was just the height of stupidity. Daniel, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You're gonna go to a demon to get laid, to get you money? It seems Daniel was under the illusion that he was in control of the demon, given what the demon promised. But I guess I'll leave you with this question. How can you control something you cannot see?